Hi there. I'm Travonnie Mackey, co-founder at Impact Work. We are excited to walk you through the Impact Insights Assessment that you're going to take today. At Impact, we believe that work doesn't have to suck. We founded the organization with the premise that people can love their jobs. We kind of hate that internationally, Net Promoter Score data says most people just tolerate work. We don't think that it has to look like that. And we call out the really important role that managers play in staff engagement. And so we exist to change the dynamic of work. We believe that if you combine empathy with impact, people move away from this experience of hating Mondays and really actually enjoy having an impact. So let's talk about the Impact Insights Assessment. We are assessing engagement and we measure that using the Net Promoter Score. That's calculated by subtracting detractors from promoters. Promoters are people who deeply recommend their organization because they think it's an amazing place to work. We have detractors who no longer can recommend the organization as a great place to work. Usually something has happened to push them there, and we like to unpack what that is and solve for it. We recognize that passives are left out of the equation here. It's okay to be a passive, but it does have an effect on culture when people don't feel energized about where the organization's going. When culture is not in a good place, organizations can't make big impact. And so thank you for taking a look at the assessment today. That will help your organization do right by you, keep you feeling supported, and move the barriers away that prevent you from loving your work. The survey you're about to take assesses three things: organizational culture, and employer value proposition, and manager effectiveness. We think all three of these things matter, and when they're in place, people are much more likely to love their jobs. When we talk about organizational culture, we mean three things. The first piece is this organization institutionally capable, right? Is it going to sustain itself? Do I believe in where it's going? The second is behavioral orientations. This is just about people feeling like, hey, the values that are on your site or on your wall actually show up every day in the way we interact with one another. And your people policies. When you don't have people policies in place that really center equity and caring for your staff, people start to question if everyone gets to experience the great culture that they're experiencing. So the policies allow for consistency. The second thing we assess is your employer value proposition. And this is getting a sense of the transaction the organization offers for great talent, right? So when you bring your great talent to an organization, what are you getting in return? What can the organization promise and deliver on? Unfortunately, oftentimes organizations promise a lot of things that it's not built to deliver on, and that leaves staff feeling highly disappointed, highly disengaged. And so we support our clients in understanding, wait, what can we actually do here? How do we do it well? And what actually matters most to our workforce? How do we deliver on the things that they care a lot about? And then lastly, we center manager effectiveness. We believe deeply in the data that Gallup produced years ago that says 70% of variance in engagement data is about the manager. If people don't have great managers, they're not likely to feel engaged, cared for, successful, or developed. And so when you take this assessment, you'll get a chance to say, hey, here's what I'm feeling with my manager. We know that takes a big portion of your engagement experience and count. So we want to understand that. If you are a people manager, you're also going to take a self-assessment. This allows you to pause and say, hey, am I struggling with the things I actually think I'm struggling with, or are my staff actually having a better experience than I thought? And maybe I can give myself a break here. In other places, there's some things that staff need that they're not getting from me. And how do I figure out where to prioritize my time? We know managers are busy. They care a lot about their people. It doesn't always come across. And so we aim to give them data that allows them to better support their team. When the team is feeling cared for, successful, developed, they're likely to be very impactful in their mission. So thanks again for agreeing to take the survey. Lastly, we always get questions about transparency and anonymity. We do our best to protect your individual anonymity and so that you can be honest on your survey. Honesty is important here. We do not share raw data back with clients. Managers get access to a portal where they can see their personal manager data but they don't see your Net Promoter Score individually. So if you are disengaged, the only way they'll know that is if they ask you and if you talk about it. But they will understand the role they play as a manager in influencing your desire to stay in the organization. So thanks again. Again, you all can reach out to me at Travonnie at impact.work. If you have any questions, we're glad you're here. Take good care.